the reason why I feel like this business model is beautiful, or like why I love it, is it gets to a point where the birds take care of themselves.
Okay.
After that first 4, 5, 6 months, you're not investing any of your money again. Akoko no tuna oton ono ani sika to feed, eto edru, ebibia.
Okay.
It's paying your workers, it's doing everything. Yeah, so that's why I like the business model. So let's say you have 315 beds left. Let's assume this 315 lay only 6 days of the week, not 7.
Okay.
You have 1890.
That's the X.
X.
Okay.
Let's
In a week.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's divide it by 30.
Why 30?
30x in a crate. So let's see how many crates you are getting.
Okay.
So divided by 30. You have 63 crates at the end of the week, which is not bad.
That's wild.
Yeah, 350 beds. You can get 10 crates every day if your production is good. You can get 10 crates every day.
Wow. But this is the 30 for a week, right?
Yes, this is
multiply by 4, so we do it like in a month. Yeah.
Times 4. 252 crates
in a week.
At the end of the month.
Okay.
Yes. So
and the price, like how much do you?
Let's sell at 46, 47. You're getting good sizes at that point. So times 47.
That's 11,844.
At the end of the month.
Yes.
So let's take 50% of the cost.
In terms of feed, right?
So we'll use these figures to project for our higher figures, and then we'll see. So
let's say you scrap up the 400. So let's say 4K.
4K a month. It's not bad.
It's not bad though. Just for 350 beds.
Yeah, it's not bad. Because
these are good numbers.
Yeah, and you can do this and do other stuff.
Okay. It's a beautiful brand new day. Welcome back to another exciting farming week in Ghana. If this is the first time seeing me, I'm Charles, and on the channel talk about farming and agriculture here in Ghana. I'm here to visit the Poultry Project, owned by Selasi. Precisely today, I'm at Kwabenya here in Accra. And normally when it comes to poultry farming, someone will think, oh, you have to get a very big land to start your own poultry farm. But in here at the Poultry Project, he does the farming in his house, at his backyard. As you can see, the farm setup is right behind me. He has some 350 capacity of beds where he farms them here at home using the battery cage system. And yes, when it comes to poultry farming, you can also do it at your backyard here in Ghana. So you have to speak with him to know how he started, why he ventured into poultry farming as a student, why all the sudden interest to go into agriculture and start even poultry farming in the first place. So you are there watching me, can be inspired to start your own farm. Before we get into the video, make sure you like this video for me. Like so you to promote it to other viewers. As you are watching, the more you like the video, YouTube will recommend to other people to also get the chance to watch the video. Share, because there are people out there who need some of these inspiring stories to ginger them to start their own farming today. You might think you need a big space to start your own farm, but that's not the case. But yes, you can also venture into farming, even at your backyard, and even have a good and a nice poultry farm in here. Subscribe to the channel so we all grow together. As I always say, the goal for the year is to reach 100,000 subscribers. So if you're watching this video, you're a new viewer in here, please subscribe to the channel and join this awesome family as we share agriculture and inspiring stories of farmers here in Africa. Okay, without much ado, let's get right into the video. I'm here with Selasi, the owner or CEO of the Poultry Project. We have to speak to him to know why he started his farming, why poultry farming even in the first place, and farming here in Ghana. So Selasi, can you introduce yourself to my viewers?
My name is Selasi. How am I can introduce myself? I'm Selasi.
Okay.
I handle TPP.
What do you mean by TPP?
The Poultry Project.
Okay.
That's how I call it in short. Yeah.
Sure. But why the Poultry Project?
So when I started poultry, I was doing it with someone in the beginning, right? And we're thinking of names like to come up with. Wanted to go with the modern farms.
The modern farms, okay.
Yeah.
Like the modern family. Do you know modern family?
No.
It's a sitcom, but you know, yeah.
The modern farms.
Okay.
But one or two things. So I just decided to go with the Poultry Project because I didn't have a name I wanted to give to it for myself. Also because I'm new to this, so I feel like it's a learning curve. It's going to take a while to be able to call myself a poultry farmer.
Okay.
So the poultry project, because every day we learn something new. Yeah.
Sure. I think that rings a bell. But you said you began with a friend. How long
Yeah.
was this?
This was a year and a half ago. My first project. That was the broilers.
Okay.
Yeah. So how did that even happen? How did poultry farm? I don't even know how poultry farming happened in the first place. I was at his place, and I used to watch YouTube videos of this guy in Kenya. I used to,
Farm up.
yes. I
Okay.
used to watch his videos when I go to this guy's place every time. I was watching his videos, and one day I'm like, let's try this thing. Like, let's just try it. So went ahead with 100 broilers, brooding space. Just we sold it in December and it was good. So I'm like, yeah.
Just this past December.
No,
Oh,
last 2 years.
last 2 years.
Yeah, this past December I didn't do broilers. I wanted to focus on the layers. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So like you guys began that okay, you wanted to do going to poultry farming.
Yeah.
But before that, did you know like is there like something about agriculture that interested you or just watching this video just inspired you to start?
Well, I've always felt growing up, I've always felt like anything that you have to do with your hand is lucrative. That's how I feel like.
Okay.
And my dad has a mango farm. So he used
Okay.
yeah. He used to
Where
send
is it located?
Akachi. He used to send me there like 4 years ago. I used to help him a lot, run everything. So I don't know. I think I fell in love with farming, but I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do.
Okay.
So why poultry? I think farm ups videos, and in my church I have an elder Peter, and he's an experienced poultry farmer. He's done it a lot of years. So when I got the idea, I called him, I met him up. I'm like, I want to go ahead and try with 100 broilers just to see how the business is. And it turned out pretty fine, yeah. But I did that with my friend, like with the help of my friend. We did everything together, basically.
The caging and everything, or
No, so with broilers, we didn't use cages.
okay.
Broilers are the beds that are going for the meat. So we did everything deep litter, like 7-8 weeks, and they're all gone. Yeah, so there was no need for cages. Although we have farmers that use cages for broilers.
For broilers, yeah.
So after that, I'm like, okay, I've done broilers. I want to.
But how did it go? How was the business like for the broilers?
It was
As a first timer.
Yeah, it was good, to be honest. Like, taking into consideration the fact that we had to buy equipment and everything and start afresh, although we didn't put up a structure, it was good. I'd say like 40 to 50% profit is very possible, like with broilers.
Okay.
Easily, yeah.
Because I feel like sometimes broilers, because you see, people have to go and buy it, like you sell them for the meat.
Yeah.
And Ghana, we normally do the importation of meat, so the business is not that there as compared to layers.
Yeah, that's why if you do broilers, so that's why I did 100 broilers, right? But when I went into layers, I did 350 because
350 layers.
yeah,
Right? Okay.
because with broilers, you need to have the ready market. You can't keep the birds in the
So
farm
be feeding them.
and continue. The moment they are past 6, 7, they're entering 8 weeks. One shall now be boka.
Okay.
So you need to have the ready market. If you don't have the people ready to buy, you don't. If you have a contract, broilers are the best. That's what I think personally. If you have a contract that every 6, 7 weeks you can sell,
Like constant ready markets.
Yes.
Broilers is the best.
it's the best.
But starting with a friend, how much money did you start with the 100 broilers? What was the cost that went into it?
If I say how much money I used for 100 broilers, then somebody else may feel like that's how much they need.
No, I mean that one is how much. That's said how much money you used, and you see this one was like 2 years ago. So someone cannot make that estimate as at today and say, okay.
Yeah, but the reason why I'm saying that is because we didn't put up a structure.
Okay.
And we did a lot of management.
When you hear management, what do you mean by a lot of management?
Well, so the reason, personally, I feel like the reason why your figures, like when running a business, the reason why your figures may differ from somebody else's is management, transportation. You know, in poultry, we get sawdust, like wood shavings.
Yeah.
You have to get wood shavings, you have to get medications, you have to get vaccines.
Okay.
So going into the business, if you find a way to structure and have a system where you manage the cost effectively, then
Okay,
Yes.
you are reducing the cost of production
Exactly.
basically. Okay.
So for 100 broilers, I think we got one for around 9 or 10 CDs at a time.
Per bed.
Yeah.
Like a day will check, right?
Yeah, they would go 100, and then we got feeders. I don't know, we used total of about 12,000 or 11,000 Ghana
For it.
cedis. Yeah.
So it was like a deep litter system, right?
Yeah, deep
For the
litter.
average. Okay. Okay.
And I believe it can be cheap, like you can actually beat that down because
yeah.
it was my first time, and so sometimes over here I don't know who said minimum can be and say.
True. That one obviously
Exactly.
once you are starting, no matter how much you might research and get the information about the practicality is always different.
So it's not about the money.
Yeah.
Because you can have the money to raise 5,000 beds, but if you don't have the technical know-how, it's a failure.
True. I agree with that.
So when we were 100 broilers, worked on it, went pretty fine. But the only reason why that friend and I are not still doing it together is because...
Oh, you guys have stopped. Okay.
Yeah, right now I'm running it alone. It's because he has other interests. Like, yeah, he's doing something that he's
really
very focused on. Yeah,
okay.
so yeah.
Okay. But at least with the selling of the 100 broilers, was it profitable? Did you guys maybe break even?
We sold a bird. At the time, we sold a broiler for like 160, 170 CDs.
Oh, okay, that's 2 years ago. That's a lot of money.
Yeah. Broilers are expensive.
Okay.
Because it's not the local, or it's not like the old layers. I'll rather tell 70 or 80 CDs. These ones are for meat.
So they are pretty pricey.
Yeah.
I'll
show you some of them.
Yeah. Which
breed?
Breed, yeah.
I won't remember the exact breed for the broilers. So I got it through this man I'm talking to you about, my elder from church, Elder Peter. Yeah. So when I got the idea, I called him, I visited him at home, we spoke about it, we took the paper down, took down some figures. So how should I put it? He taught me everything.
So basically gave you like the information.
Yes. Okay. Where to get vaccines, where to get the bed, all of that. Yes, he taught me. So, yeah.
So for those watching, I know you come to the layers, but for those watching, can you let us know where you got the broilers from? So that at least people
There's
are watching
this lady
want some
called Hajia. She's around, what's that place? Is it Ofanko? Yeah. She's also into farming. Okay. So yeah.
She normally imports them.
Yeah. For those particular broilers, I would be honest, I don't know if they were imported. Yeah, but for the layers, I had to go pick it up myself from the airport. So.
Okay. So take me back to 2 years ago when you guys were like you watched Farm Up. Big shout out to Farm Up So you guys began to start a farm. Deciding to go into the business. Was it that difficult? Was it scary? What was like the risk? Like how was the feeling like wanting to start something? Especially poultry farming?
I wouldn't say if it was difficult, then it was difficult in the sense of the intellectual property or knowing exactly what to do, because I used to freak out a lot. Like any little thing, now my friend Elder. Okay. Elder Peter, money say. When you come and check them, because I didn't know anything.
Okay.
From brooding. So if it was difficult, then in that sense, also in the sense of how do we start? Where do we start? We don't have a land. We don't have any of those things. Well, we're trying to get a place around, because starting with 100 broilers, you can't do it somewhere that's far. Cost of transportation is going to eat up the business.
Yeah.
So I had to speak to Chairman General, my old boy.
Okay.
And I use he has some space that's uncompleted. I took one room, just did some rough work, and then that was our brooding space for the 100 broilers.
For the 100 broilers, okay. Okay, so at least your dad has assisted with the space.
Yeah, with the space.
Okay.
And that was it. The day I called him and I spoke to him, he wasn't around. He doesn't work in Accra. So when he came home, he was like, okay, we can go ahead, because it was just 100 broilers. But after running the broilers, I fell in love with the business. I'm like, yeah, let me try the layers. Let me see how it goes. Also with the broilers, I would say I wanted to do farming, but that friend, I don't know if I should say he didn't want to do farming. He didn't mind doing farming.
Okay.
But he came He helped me financially. Like that's how we came together to run it. Yeah. The ups and downs. We did everything together. He's a computer programmer. That's why he can't
Okay.
continue actively like that. Yeah, but I want to do farming, so I want to do
So it's
porch.
like the way you had interest and the love for the business, he didn't have that same energy.
No.
Kind of.
Yeah.
He wanted at least.
No, he had the
pump
energy,
money.
yeah, but maybe to learn, some people,
Okay.
yeah, just to experience it. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
So at least then you guys, after the first broilers, you just started to want to go into layers.
Yeah.
Okay. So then take me through the layers too.
So the reason why it's the poultry project is we want to test, understand, learn from it. So we did the broilers. We tested. I've understood it. I've learned from it. Now we are doing the layers. The layers had to use the same space that I used for the 100 broilers.
Okay.
So this is what I'm talking about. Like when it comes to the cost, it's going to be like different for everybody. Because the same space I used for the 100 broilers, I bought 350 layers and I put them in the same space. Because the broilers take more space than the layers. Yeah. Put 350 layers in the same space, and after 6 weeks, I separated the white and the brown birds.
Okay, so you bought two different.
Yeah. Ghanaians say they don't really like white egg. I don't know why.
They like the brown one. Maybe the brown one, I don't know.
Me too, I like white egg.
If you have any reason, let me know.
Me too, I like white eggs. So
okay.
The brown birds do not perform as well as the white birds. I don't know why. Yeah. Well, that's my personal experience. I feel like the white birds do better when it comes to size of the egg, even their health. Yeah. Because maybe we'll go into the recent heat surge that has been around. I lost a couple of birds, but I lost more brown than white.
Yeah. Interesting. I think when I interviewed Emmanuel from PAF, I think he also had the same how do you call it?
Yeah.
Like mindset or the same opinion that I think the white ones were more stronger or better than the brown ones. But let me know. Starting with the broilers. We'll go back to the broilers.
Okay.
You said 12,000.
Yeah, about 12,000.
12,000. Yeah. What was the challenge that came with that one specifically?
Broilers challenges.
Were they mortalities?
Oh, broilers, I lost like 4. That 100 broilers. It was pretty good. Yeah, it was pretty good. Yeah, I didn't lose much. Because we bought 100. I ended up selling 95.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good business.
Yeah.
So that wasn't a challenge, but aside like
the challenge is the one say adi amige afina me nti bibia na makoma. Yeah, so the least thing I'm calling my elder on the God bless him, because the least thing I'm calling him, Elder Peter, say, and he normally goes for walks from like 5 to 6 a.m. So far before he goes home, you pass by, take a look, and tell me not to worry. I could go now friend a crowd, so how nipa cry be with you.
I like his opinion.
Yeah.
Okay. But with the 12,000, because you said you didn't have the structure, the space.
Yeah, we didn't put up a structure or any of those
so
things.
what went into that 12,000? That made you incur that much?
Feed go fit take maybe 5,000 to 6,000 of that money.
Okay, you're talking about from
day old, from like buying them to everything. Okay, to sell, like to the point of selling. Yeah.
Okay. So I like that is makes sense. I know with poultry, the feeding is like the main thing.
50 or 60% of your output. It's crazy, but yeah.
Okay, so now let's come again to the layers.
Okay.
After doing broilers, why didn't you replace with broilers? But I said, okay, let me go into layers.
Okay. So the broilers, when they were 6 weeks, I started marketing.
Okay.
By the 7th week, we had sold some. We had sold about 20 or 30. We still had some left. That's when I realized that you need a ready market.
Before.
Yeah. So we finished selling them off by like the 8th. Getting to the 9th week, we had sold them off. I even had some of the feed left at that time.
Okay.
So it's just about the ready market. And then I realized with layers, Nkosia dear.
Oh,
bro. Nkosia dear. And yet ding.
Yeah.
Sell the tongue. Because the broilers too is expensive. It's meat.
Because 180 is...
If be rich people, them are chicken with that. Yeah.
The broke niggas will go buy the...
You go market, you go buy the local or if you have
the frozen one.
Yes. But if you go and buy a broiler,
Okay, so at least the business wasn't moving that
Yeah, it's
fast.
just I didn't have at that time, it's networking. Fresh into the business, 6-7 weeks. I didn't have the connect or the what's the word?
The markets
Yeah.
for them. Okay.
And it was just 100 broilers. And it took us 2 to 3 weeks to sell. I wasn't impressed.
With it.
For me, 3 days.
I get
Yeah.
you. I feel you.
Bankosiano. Omuntu ye krano be fell.
That's nice. We'll come there. So now going into layers. Did you source it from the same woman?
No.
Or how did you how did you go about
So
it?
with the layers. So with the layers, I wanted to do battery cages, right?
Okay.
Now, this is because when I finally set up the farm I want to set up, I want it to be battery cages.
Okay.
So this elder Peter I'm talking to you about has done strictly deep litter all his life. I have to go out there and look at people that have cages, talk to them, their experiences.
Okay.
So I contacted the people I got my cages from. They are around Botiano. So one of the guys, Seth, he's in University of Ghana still. He took me around to some of the people they've sold cages to.
They've done the setup for
Yes,
them
and the beds were already laid. So we went around, and most of them was the H type. That's why I actually went ahead with the H, because it takes less space and all. So I had to take all those things into consideration. And then I met one man in North Kaneshi called Paul, an old man too, and he was doing battery cages at home. And he had about 800 beds.
Oh, wow.
Each type battery cage, he has divided it into 2. And what they are born, we say, it was beautiful. And I'm like, then you don't even need
Yes. So I know people, like one thing about poultry farm is when people want to start, their main aim is to do it. So what also don't know, his poultry farm is domestic. Let me put it that way. Battery cages, but it's domestic.
Yeah. So I spoke to him. He's like, "Oh, why broiler spend their only problem? And I got the beds from Frankatson.
Okay.
Yeah. Bovan Gold Line or so. That's the breed. Yeah. And they shipped it in from Belgium, if I'm right. And I picked it up from the airport myself. So they were giving me the option of, so when to me I'm a fan and now we take it to Frankatson, you pick it up the next day. But I wanted to bring them in, give them the glucose. Yeah. And this is my first layer project. So you can imagine. I'm that type. So I don't want to make a little mistake. No.
Yeah.
I was at the airport before they got there bringing on me. Pentem cried them wanna be I don't. Yeah, that's just me. So that's how it was. So the man at North Kaneshi, the Paul, said, "Oh no, no, battery cages no." So if I talk to Elder Peter, then I call him too. Yeah. So that's just how I was
compare
doing
the information and stuff.
Yes. That's just how I learned, and then I started, and it's been fine. To be honest. Yeah.
So they're ordering you said there were some white, some brown.
Yeah.
Why
so I took more white than brown.
Why that decision though? Did you have any prior information?
Yeah. I went around. I spoke to a lot of people. A lot of people into farming, and the general idea was that the white beds perform better than the brown. So I went with more white, just to test the brown to see if they'll do better, but they've disappointed me.
Okay. Yeah. So at least what they were saying was true.
Yes,
well, I'm asking because people watching us would also want to start and no going for beds, but we'll see. Okay.
But the problem is Ghana for a brown bed, brown egg.
Brown egg, that's
I mean, I don't mind them.
But still, you buy. Because I don't credit you, I wouldn't know why 1,000 pay. I don't know why, but please let me know. Yeah, if you are watching this video and you know a reason why there's a more demand or preference for the brown eggs as compared to the white, just let me know. Okay, so now the battery cages and the guys brought it in.
Yeah, so
but let me know.
Battery cage no pono. See, the behind management. I bought the beds. I was brooding them 6 weeks in Puna Menyanko for a cage. I hadn't put up the structure for the cages.
For the cages, yet. Okay.
But I had paid for it.
Okay.
So the money is not lying there. You can't just go and take the money, and so you have to manage it, because I want to use these 350 beds to be able to make an estimate for 3,000 or 4,000 beds. I'm ignoring whatever I'm hearing in the world about how poultry farming is. Okay. I'm going through the experience myself to see what 350 beds can do.
Okay.
And if it makes sense, then it's only up from here. Yeah.
Okay. And at least so far so good.
So far so good.
Okay. So with the layers, what has been the challenge since starting? So the layers have been like a year now.
Yeah.
How old are the beds?
Oh no, exactly a year.
Exactly a year.
So around the same time. A year. I got them in May, 11th May. So not a year. It's almost a year.
How's the business been like? How has moving from broilers to layers? How has it been like?
Layers. My first difficulty was when they came, when they were a day old.
Yeah.
I feel like the beds were so smart as compared to the broilers. I brooded them with clay pots. The broilers, I use clay pots. I heat coal and I put it in.
Okay.
With the broilers, I wasn't covering my clay pots. The layers came day 1, day 2. They started jumping into the clay pots.
That's the layers or the broilers?
Yes, the layers.
Okay.
But the broilers I didn't lose a single broiler to jump in because they wanted more heat.
Okay.
But the layers, I don't know how come their wings. I don't know if it's the breed. Second day, third day, they had started because they need the heat. Also begin the coal. Sorry, when you heat the coal and put it in the pot, and the heat comes down, they want to get closer to the pot. They are looking for the source of the heat.
Okay.
Heat, and they end up jumping into the. So in the morning you'd be going there and you smell barbecue.
They are committing suicide.
Yeah, and it was crazy. After the third day, I went there early in the morning at 5 a.m. and I saw one inside. I went back and there was another one. That was it. I called the Botiano people. I want the gas brother. BD radio me jai because.
Couldn't you cover the top?
So at that, because the layers, I wasn't the broilers. I wasn't covering it. I never had
any problem with that. Okay.
So I started thinking to myself, what if I cover it too much? I'm like, let me just get a gas brother. I got it. I got the gas cylinder. We fixed it and it worked fine. Okay. It worked very well. It was drying up there later. It was better in my opinion. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. But that one, how much did it cost? Getting the gas brother?
Like 800 or so.
Yeah. Okay.
At that time.
That's cool. So at least that was like the main challenge that came with the
in the beginning, yes. that was the main challenge.
They committed suicide.
Yeah.
Basically.
And along the line, the layers too are a bit more aggressive than the broilers when it comes to feeding them. Well, my personal experiences here, when it comes to feeding them and things. And they are way smarter, They are way smarter.
The layers.
Yeah, they are way smarter. A broiler will eat and just sleep. No, if you give layer opening, it was crazy. I don't think these beds they are not local now. Even the cages, sometimes they come out. Okay. They come out of the cages, and when you enter the structure and you do this, only baby yeah.
So you just pack them back and put them. So that was
challenges, and I had a case of what's it called, infectious coryza.
What's that one too?
Where the bed's eye swells.
Okay.
So this is what I didn't know. When you brood them, sometimes you have to let fresh air
pass into.
I didn't know. So I started getting cases of infectious coryza. I went in for Pemprovit, it's a type of antibiotic. I gave it to them, and I was still having the cases. So I called Elder Peter, and he came. He was like, "No, by this time, I was saying farmer."
Yeah. So was it when they were growing? How many weeks?
They were about 4 to 5 weeks at the time. When I started seeing, and it's still my first layer project, so it's not easy to identify.
There's the problem.
There's the bed. Yes. Okay. So it took me a while, and I realized 2, 3, 4 beds. So it was getting scary. I went in for the antibiotic, and when I started letting air pass through, they all did fine. I got a case of fowl pox too.
Okay.
Like a week before their fowl pox vaccination, I got a case of fowl pox, but I didn't really do damage. I didn't lose beds. Yeah.
Like that. Aside a few, I also did the barbecue. No loss, or there were some.
Recently, I lost lost a lot more due to the heat
Okay, from the sun.
and fat.
Oh, okay.
No, they are in cages.
They don't move around. They don't bend.
All they do is eat.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. You go online and you also read a lot of books or charts of a layer must eat this amount of feed. But with the cages, it's not so.
Okay.
Because when I try, I waste the feed. I pack my waste feed into sacks. So you have about 2-3 sacks of wasted feed. Because I want to mean the. But I try to say that's what.
But I'm not trying. Was it for?
Exactly.
Deep litter.
Nah. Yes. But they say a layer. They normally don't specify.
Specify whether I use a deep litter system or.
Intimate Matiso, and they are still performing like, yeah. Matiso still they are unable to consume it the way I wish they would.
They'll consume
it. Yeah. Maybe it was the heat because of late there's so many factors. Yeah, but the heat is bad. The heat is bad. I had to rework on my structure. That's what I'm saying. I've gone through the experience. Like the structure I made for the battery cages.
The H1.
Yes. When the cages came, the guy who was installing the cages was Mbwame.
What do you mean by that?
Because structure now me here, the cage can't fit in it.
Okay.
Instead of finding a permanent solution at the time, we cut the legs of the cages for them to be able to enter.
Okay.
So if this is the stance, we cut it somewhat like this, so it can enter my structure. Okay. At that time, I wasn't thinking of heat waiting me how more. Nah. When they started laying, I realized I have issues. Power has been here before. I started having issues with ventilation.
Problems and stuff.
So when the heat got serious, I had to redo my structure. To roofing in because the heat was killing them. You go in there and they are just panting. We need to
slow.
Yeah. How you do one? But I feel like these are things that if you get into business with someone who doesn't have in-depth knowledge about poultry farming, now friend and then
the person might not understand.
Until I said that.
Yes, this thing. There's also one problem. So normally, even those in the diaspora, for instance, who like want to partner with people and do businesses, and when I say if you give them the report and they say no problem, they feel like you are cheating them.
I have a friend who wanted to do the layers with me so bad. I'm like, bro, if you make ready come, make we work together. No get problem, make we do one. Because I would like for you to also understand the biology of the animals and how they are. Like, if I call you and I tell you, you might not. If I tell you this heat has killed 15-20 birds, you understand how.
Yeah, that is true.
So that's just how it is.
I get you. But getting the battery cages for the 350, how much did it cost?
In total, about 12,000. Yeah, in total about 11,500, 12,000.
Hey, just for 350 beds?
Yeah.
Or like there were more, the cages were more than 350?
So this cage, we have 120 cages, 120 capacity. We have 160 capacity. This is 120 capacity. And I got three because I was getting 350 beds. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Also, with the little experience I have now, I would prefer the A type to the H.
Why? So the A with the middle?
Yeah, the A.
Okay.
Why? So with the H, I'm not using what's it called, a conveyor belt.
What's that?
So we have a cage system where we have a belt where the birds, when their litter drops on it, you just the belt
to clean
the litter. And with the A type, we have the scraper near us, that pushes the feces. Okay. Now, with my H, I'm not using a conveyor belt. I use trays. So we put wood shavings on the trays and the birds drop the feces on it and we take it out. Now, challenges. One challenge I had was when the birds were suffering from the heat and I didn't know, they were consuming a lot of water because they are hot. Yeah. And when they consume a lot of water, it has to come out.
It will be like liquid.
So their litter was so wet and 3 days in Pumba is dripping into the feeder that's beneath.
Oh, okay.
So constant changing of the litter. Now, why I would go for A is if you have A and you don't even have the scraper, their litter is dropping right on the floor. Like you can do a gutter and it's easier to clean
Okay.
Yes, it's way easier to clean that way. That's why I'd rather go in for the A, yeah. And the other thing too is with the A, you need more space. And at the time that I was doing my own management. I have to do something that's we are now testing the waters.
Sure.
Yeah.
I get you. But has farming poultry, like the layers, been profitable so far? Because so how many weeks are the birds now?
Like 47, 48.
47, 48.
Because they came 11 May. So we are in April. So in a few weeks now
Yeah. Okay. So then, like, how has the business been like going into it?
I feel like with poultry, right? So I'll share this with everyone. I feel like if I can focus on being a poultry farmer and I have someone in charge of sales, my business will be successful.
Okay. What do you mean by that? Like, so you personally will mainly be focused on...
I won't think about me kotonkosia. Me sorry, I have to focus on the birds being healthy because that's what it's dependent on.
Okay.
It's a production business, but it will be human beings where they work for you. It be the birds, so you have to take care of them. They have to be healthy, like they have to be there for you to get something from the business. Now, for me, for now, I'm self-employed. I'm not an entrepreneur because I have to work. I have to think of how I will sell eggs. I have to think of buying feed, medication, vaccine. I do my own vaccinations.
Okay.
Yeah. No vet has come to do any vaccination for me. As a matter of fact, since I started my project, no vet has been here.
So you handle like
everything with the help of my elder Peter and the few people I can
call. With the information from their end.
Of later, they worry Ima and Jeffrey were Prolific Farms.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He's in Kumasi.
Yeah. So that was it. When the birds were dying from the heat, I got this Jeffrey. So the thing is, when something is going on with the birds, it's difficult to tell what it is.
They're like babies. When they're crying, you don't know what's wrong with them.
It's difficult to tell what it is. Maybe an autopsy, like you would do a lot of things because when the birds, their litter was so wet, I got a lot of medications. Okay. I thought it was diarrhea. I got a lot of medications, but it didn't work. But when the heat started killing them and I changed my structure, I raised it, I made a window at the back, their litter is dry now.
Okay.
And they don't consume as much as they used to.
Okay.
Another challenge is I do a lot of other stuff and having someone to rely on. Yeah.
At least look at flight for you like the way you feel to be.
Yeah. That's just what it is. And I make coming. So if you can focus on being a poultry farmer, have someone focus on being an egg seller, you'd make money.
Make a lot of money.
Yeah, because the birds are healthy. Every day you're making sure the birds are healthy. And once the birds are healthy, the eggs will come. And if the eggs are coming and you are selling, the money will come.
Okay. But at least it's been profitable. That's what I understand. Because if you're saying
the birds take care. Okay, so the reason why I feel like this business model is beautiful, or like why I love it, is it gets to a point where the birds take care of themselves. Okay. After that first 4, 5, 6 months, you're not investing any of your money again. It's paying your workers, it's doing everything. Yeah, so that's why I like the business model. And I feel like you can make your capital invested back in about 6, 7, at most 8 months, if you do very good work. So it's different for everybody. Somebody to go do 350 beds, baska unya because on share one suye.
So like the production is not that more for him to get more eggs to sell.
The whole business is dependent on the health of the bed.
Okay.
So if you are taking good care of the beds and they are giving you the eggs, you make your money.
True.
Every business is profitable.
That one.
It's the system. It's the system. Have a good system to go about, so you'll be profitable.
Okay. But with the 350, how much cost have you said you've incurred so far? I know say like getting the battery cages were like 11, 12, almost 12K there. So everything so far with the cost
to the point of lay.
Yeah.
Bear in mind, I didn't put up a structure for brooding. And I did put up a structure to put the beds in the cages indoor.
Okay.
With the cost of the cages involved, I spent about 75,000-80,000 cedis.
Wow. Just on 350 beds.
Yeah. Because that's what I'm saying, the management plays a role. Every Friday, I have to give them vaccine. So every Friday, it depends on you. Friday, Monday, like a day in a week, when they come like that, for the first 6-7 weeks, every week they take a vaccine. Now, cost of transportation to buy this vaccine. Like, there's just so many factors in running the business that, yes, you can beat that. And the reason why it's that much is because of the cages and the structure I put up. You can definitely beat that cost down if you are doing deep litter. I bought equipment. I bought feeders. Yeah, I added feeders to the 100 broilers, their feeders, all those things. I got a lot of equipment.
Just during the brooding stage, right?
Yeah, and then when they enter the cages, you do a lot more you didn't intend on doing. That's just how running a business is. I planned on using 40,000 Ghana cedis.
But
it's not possible. Because me talk cages new year and say no. And the cages, they last. So more beds go use them.
Yeah. So that one is like a first cost.
Yes.
Subsequent beds will not be.
So if you do deep litter, 350 beds, 40,000, you can do it. 45,000. Yeah.
With 350 beds.
Yeah. And it's mostly because of the feed. Feed no boy then. So.
But how much does one of the feed cost again?
Coogis layer one right now is like 355 cedis a bag.
Okay.
And for my beds, they are consuming like 5 bags a week.
Oh, okay.
So
what did you?
Mandom did every day you go then the feed finish. You know they see where the feed they pass. But
once they are laying.
Yes, exactly. And they are buying their own feed.
So the cost you get from it.
Oh yeah.
So I asked about the cost you incurred in starting. As it's been close to a year, have you been able to recoup that cost? Would you say you've been able to recoup?
So,
and what percentage have you been able to recoup? That's if not all.
So when running a business, if you have fixed assets, I'm not looking for returns on my fixed assets as quickly. My cages, my equipment, I don't think about those things. Yeah. Like, so the ones that worry are the medication you buy. I know now better. In terms of revenue or making your capital invested back, that's why I said you can use 7-8 months to make your money back. Yeah, but don't take your fixed assets into consideration too much. For my cages like this, I can slash it into 4 or 5 and allocate that first portion out of the 5.
Okay. Ideally for the first quarter,
yes,
you can't include those ones because definitely other bears will come and they'll be using.
And I'll tell you, with poultry, if you think about profitability, you would collapse your business. You have to think about growth.
Right, I mean, it's a business, obviously.
Yeah, but business be who starting as kind of started banner you're okay. Well, 350 now we're using 75,000. Imagine 3,000. You're gonna get more cages. You're gonna put up a structure. I didn't put up brooding structure.
Yeah, because you said
you understand. Yeah. So by the time you put up a brooding structure, and with battery cages, after your brooding structure, you have to put up structure for cages.
They have to be in like a confined space.
Yeah, because after they grow up for that, we put them in the cages like 12-13 weeks. After that 12-13 weeks, you have to put them in the cages. It's not where you brooded them that deep later and you want all the cages in the babesi.
Okay.
It means you need to have another structure there
to have the battery cages.
So it's a whole lot. I don't think it's scary because if you talk to people before you start something, then you know what to expect.
Okay.
So you make preparations. Like I wish I had used only 40,000 cedis for the 350 beds, but it couldn't be so, Charlie. Even getting the wood shaving, sometimes you drive around, you go to this sawmill, you don't get it, you go here, you don't, and it's just 350 beds. If I had a lot more, meet me up a car, I see a barco, no, I saw no the bar. That's what I'm saying. The management plays a big role, and it will be different for everybody. Yeah.
True.
But normally, I always consider a 10% mortality
So okay, if you are
For
doing it, yeah.
so for 350 beds, a 10% mortality that will be 35.
Mhm.
So 350 minus 35, you have
315.
315 beds left. God willing, if you've been able to put in, and me, by the time my beds were laying, I had more than 315. So
So
it's
then that
very,
was good.
yeah, it's very possible. Now I have like 320 or 319, and it's just because of the heat and the
That's
fat.
killed some of them.
Yeah, the fat I'm talking about. Or they eat high nutrient feed, but they are not exerting the energy into anything. So let's say you have 315 beds left. Let's assume this 315 lay only 6 days of the week, not 7.
Okay.
You have 1890
That's the X.
eggs.
Okay.
Let's
In a week.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's divide it by 30.
Why 30?
30 eggs in a crate. So let's see how many crates you are getting.
Okay.
So divided by 30. You have 63 crates at the end of the week, which is not bad.
That's wild.
Yeah, 350 beds. You can get 10 crates every day if your production is good. You can get 10 crates every day.
Wow.
So you see, we're having 63 crates at the end of the week.
Yeah.
But if your production is very good and you're making 10 crates from 350, but let's use 63 crates a week. How much? I feel like in the poultry business too, there's 3 price points: farmers price, wholesale, and retail.
Yeah.
Because Obiba beton koshomo, Obe complaining because into it go sell to the person who will sell to the end user.
Okay. So like so how much so before you go to the price, so this is the 3 is for a week, right?
Yes, this is
multiply by 4, so we do it like in a month. Yeah.
Times 4. 252
crates
crates
in a week.
at the end of the month.
Okay.
Yes. So
and the price, like how much do you
let's sell at 46, 47. You're getting good sizes at that point. So times 47
that's 11,844
at the end of the month.
Yes.
So let's take 50% of the cost.
In terms of feed, right?
Or we can also calculate for feed. Maybe thousands, around 1,800 a week for feed.
Okay.
Or 1,700, around 1,800 a week.
So like how many bags do they usually consume in a week?
5. At the point of lay that you're giving, you can give them 5.
So 5 is like 350.
Yeah.
Right. So 1,750.
Transportation inclusive.
That's how much?
Let's put some 100 CDs on them for a week, let's see. So times 4.
Okay.
7,400.
From the initial, okay, so I'm making a profit of
4,400.
and 44.
Yeah, so this is like net.
Yeah. This is like
this is gross.
No, that's profit because
we've taken out feed.
Yeah, the cost
now,
at least that goes
so
into it.
Yes, but there's little expenses that may come up.
So like let's say medication.
Yeah, but it's not always coming up. That's the beauty. If you get your medication this month, maybe in 2 or 3 months before you go buy again. So if you have your vitamins, if you have the important stuff, you're not going back. You're going to be getting dewormer every month. You know, there are just a few things you're going to continue getting. So assuming you're making 4,000, let's say you're making 4,000 seeds, because 350 beds, to be honest, you can take care of it yourself. You don't have to employ anybody.
People to do that.
Unless you have other stuff you're doing, like myself. And the main reason why we are doing this is to steady the business, like
to see whether I can go into the large scale.
So we'll use these figures to project for our higher figures, and then we'll see. So
let's say you scrap up the 400. So let's say 4K.
4K a month. It's not bad.
It's not bad though. Just for 350 beds.
Yeah, it's not bad. Because
these are good numbers.
Yeah, and you can do this and do other stuff.
Okay. It's not like something I always. And the interesting part is you have it at domestically, so you can at least people might thinking poultry farming, you have to get the land first, think of the.
You just have to use your head
to know how you can minimize and
think deep and start small. Like there's no way you would start at once with like 10,000 beds and make it.
You have to start and learn, bro. They always tell so when it comes to agriculture, if you want to start, I always tell people start small and like upscale.
Yeah.
So that at least you learn the business, you know how best you can go about it. Some do's and don'ts, some things you did that wasn't the right decision that you took.
Yeah.
You learn from it. If you go on a large scale, you do that so you don't get too much cost. So it's always advisable to start at least you start small before you go. Okay, but before like let's go back. Let's double back to a bit. Just take out that
But
poultry
this
farming.
is that 4,000. That's our 46 CDs. So if you start selling at 50 CDs, you make
You
more.
make more, yeah,
That's
yeah,
just
yeah.
how it is.
So, Ali,
In
by
the
the
beginning,
average-
no, in the beginning, almost too be so you're getting more eggs, but not at a very good price.
That's when they start laying.
Yes, you're getting more eggs, but not at a very good. Also, when they start laying, it's production. Back to an egg, when you're 5, when you're 8, it just doesn't start. You say, "I could back to a day." So, I mean, that's how I also felt. That's why you have to go through it. But okay, this one laid today, tomorrow I had 3 more, I have 4 more, 10 more. Production is coming up. So production builds up after like a month and 2 weeks.
Okay.
You should be able to get out your production. From then you're getting a large number of eggs, but not very big in size. So you are selling it cheaper, but you're selling more. You're getting your money. When they get older, the eggs get bigger,
But
they lay less.
Okay.
You still get your money. That's just
so
how it is.
I understand.
So it balances out, then you sell off the beds, make more money. Isn't this
And even
beautiful?
selling them at the paint layers, you sell them to good
Yes.
price, people buy
Make
and
more
stuff.
money.
I think about
Because selling these beds will pay for my cages.
yeah. And when I selling them, when I spoke with Ima, he was like selling them normally 80 series or so for like the
80,
paint layers.
70. Who paint them 65 CDs? They can come and carry all of them for you. But if you want to relax and maybe sell this to this person, this to this person, then it's different.
That's even like, let's say you should have 320 now. 320 are selling them as, let's say, 60 series car.
Oh.
That's 19,000.
With your cages.
19,200, just selling the bed before you go and bring in new ones.
With your cages, like, so, you can use this to even buy new beds.
And bring them
Because 350 beds, I use like how I got like 22 CDs each.
for one.
Yeah, so I got like 7,700.
Okay. Yeah, 7,000.
I don't forget my figures. So 7,700, and now you sold 7,700 worth of Ebiewu.
Yeah.
But we are going to sell 7,700 worth of beds, and you're going to make way more.
19,000 something at least.
Yeah,
The paint
that's
even after selling the eggs and taking all.
So the business model is beautiful, but it's dependent on the health of the beds. As I'm telling you, say you go to the farm and there's a problem, or they are dying and you can't tell exactly what the problem is, because and the medications are expensive.
Oh, okay.
Into BBM one now started to draw. That's when you know go see your monitor, because that your 4K you for make or more. What got to draw 1,000, 1,200. It draw na anye juma. Obesa koto. It draw no 5 days. One no maybe anye juma. Obesa koto it draw for. Yeah. So if you don't take care of the beds, sorry.
Okay. So we'll go into details to look at poultry farming, the do's and don'ts, doing the right things, what you're supposed to do. People are going with the battery cage system, so that's what you have.
Yeah.
So we'll look at that in the subsequent videos. But I want us to know you a bit.
Okay.
When I spoke to you earlier, I said you're a student and you're doing the farming on the side. Like, where do you school?
Knappsford University, Okponglo.
Okay.
Yeah.
But what was I doing?
Business administration.
Oh, okay.
Accounting. Yeah.
So you're an accounting student in high school.
Knappsford.
No.
Yeah, I studied accounting in Laboni Senior High too.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you went to Labon.
Yeah.
They like continue.
And I was doing my Chartered Institute of Management. I don't know. I just like accounting for some reason.
Okay.
I was doing my Chartered Institute, but
Sima.
yeah, I'm not the type of person to be in one place for a long time. Yeah, so hence poultry farming. I like to move. I don't see myself ever sitting down.
At one place.
Yeah, like in an office. So the accounting I'm learning there is for the sake of my own business.
Okay.
You know, yeah.
But looking at it, you don't look forward to like entering into
No.
like let's say working, doing a 9 to 5 with accounting.
No.
Okay.
9 to 5s are not as tiring as the poultry business, but I'll still choose the poultry business. Yeah.
Okay. But aside that, what else do you do? So you writing the summer.
Yeah, and I do a lot more. Don't worry.
I do a lot more. Okay, but which level are you?
Second year.
Second year.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay. So as I said, we'll look at more details into the second poultry farming, where we get to learn more, put more effort into it. You know, if you're a beginner, you want to start, at least with the 350 beds he has, the do's and don'ts, how to go about it. We take our time to break some of this information down for you guys. But let me ask, I know if there is any advice personally you give to other people who are there, especially the youth. I always ask this question because there are people who have even farmlands who are not interested in the idea of agriculture, who don't see any have any interest in going to those kind of ventures? What would that be?
I feel like I'm doing poultry because it came to me. I don't know how.
Okay.
Like when people ask me, I don't know how, but a lot of things have come to me. What I do is I go out there and I study the model of the business. I try to study how it works.
Okay.
So if you don't want to do poultry farming, don't do poultry farming. Don't hear that. Akoko timi tun kosi abako every day. No,
You are going to do it.
you'll be disappointed.
Okay.
Be willing to go through the process, even if it's 50 beds. If you go through the process and you do it the right way and you understand it, you can definitely find someone to even put you on. Like it's not about money. It's not about money. So if it's okay, so they sell beds in 50 a carton. So maybe you can't go less than 50. So if you want to start small, maybe the smallest you can start with is 50. Yes. So, and anything you want to do, just start. If you think about how exactly you're going to do it or how you go about it, you might never start. Like along the line, whatever challenges come up, you're going to find a way to overcome it.
Yeah.
Also, find serious people you can call and explain your situations to them. Because these birds, you know, everybody and what they say about birds, like every farmer. Right now, I feed my birds once a day.
Oh, okay.
You know, instead of morning, afternoon, I feed them once a day. And it's working well for me. It's working better than when I was feeding. I don't know why. Same way when I'm feeding them, the quantity I'm supposed to feed them, and they're not taking it, but they are performing, the production is high.
I feel like because it's battery cage, you
Yes.
don't incur cost more on feed as compared to like the depleter.
Yeah.
So you give them less.
So I feel like even the 5 bags a week, if you watch your feed properly, you can go down to 4.5 bags.
Yeah.
Because we have a lot of sports feed there. And with the battery cages, if the feed is inside, that's it. They release a lot of saliva into the feeder because they drink water from. When you say akoko, they normally they drink water from down, raising head, make the water enter. But now, we they make them drink water from top.
Okay.
Until by the time the bird go bring him mouth down, some of the water you know swallow go fit enter the feeder.
So it will kick up.
Until you it go kick on, it go spoil. If you don't come and you are not checking, you are always pouring feed on it. The bird no go chop.
Okay.
If the feed where they underway is spoil, it will spoil all the feed. I feel like that's one of the things battery cage farmers may not be paying attention to. You always have to check your feeders.
Okay.
Yeah, you always have to check your feeders and your nipples where they drink the water from. If they feed block, yeah, dirt and things. So we get medications, VMD clean. We they use wash the pipes. Just make sure you have someone you can call. Yeah, just make sure you have someone you can call to direct you on like the important stuff.
Okay, I guess this advice also go for at least those who are new beginners who want to like venture into poultry farming at least.
Yeah, anything you want to do at all.
Yeah. Okay, but let me ask you, I know you do battery cages, but if someone is to call you to seek for advice, I want to go into poultry farming. Well, should I do deep litter? I should do battery cages. What would you advise the person?
If you do deep litter, you can feel free. If you do battery cages, you have to pay more attention to the birds.
Okay.
The moment they are in the cages, they are already stressed. When we go in there and you are taking a look at them, once a bakuda baby, then they step in top. And they beat each other in the cages too. It's a natural cause. The birds they fight.
They are in there like.
Oh, they fight. You do prison self, still you go like beat the person way. Yeah.
Your body
even if feed come, then get the one that they beat, make you wait, make them chop first.
Okay.
That's just how it is. So you have to pay attention to them. You go in there sometimes, you realize some of them are hurt. They're struggling in the cages. So I have one cage where when we say you are going through a lot, let me do one show. Yeah. So the bird will be able to recover, already no stress, because we keep them 4 in a cage, and the brown birds they get bigger than the white. The white birds go lean and tall. So as for them white birds, if you keep them 4 in a cage, it's not a problem. But the brown, if you keep them 4 in a cage, even stampede, especially, you know how some birds they are not used to light out. A lot of people don't train their birds like that, and all of a sudden the light goes out if they are in the cages. In the morning, maybe the mortality you see will stop the business.
Okay.
It's bad. So it's just petty things like You have to pay attention to, like, it's not a holy grail.
Okay.
I felt like it was a holy grail. So we could top battery cages, mess soft, we got 4 year deep later or more bread. Some people they do deep later, they are even better off than you are, because you're not paying attention to the beds. Yeah, it's a whole lot.
But first of all, what would be your final advice to the person among the two options?
I've never done deep litter.
Okay. No.
I've done, so the deep litter I've done was broilers and the layers to the point of 12, 13 weeks. Yes. And it was a struggle. Me, Anopabia, remember drinker. I wash my drinkers every day. Okay. Yeah. Anopabia, you go wash the drinker. You for clean the feeder. They'll be putting sawdust in the feeder. Drinker now, one more, so no the sawdust are saying good. Then now they test. You have to come take out the sawdust. It's tiring. It's more tiring than the battery cages. So
if I get you, there's a lot of work when it comes to the deep litter, but the battery cage is there.
The battery cage, the work that's there is not as tough physically when it comes to working, but I feel like intellectually paying attention to them, being able to spot that this bed, something the wrong arm, That's just how.
Okay.
Just make sure you have someone you can call.
Sure.
Someone you can call.
One last question. So if there's any 3 forms of farming you want to venture into, apart from poultry farming, being in the farming business for some time now, like let's say almost 3 years now, what 3 other crops would you say you might be eyeing to venture into? No crops, forms of farming generally. It can be animal farming, it can be crops, it can be anything. Any 3.
Sheep or goat.
Okay. Why?
They're born.
Okay.
Sheep or goat. And if you get the good breeds, that's what I'm saying, you have to talk to people. Your network is your network. You have to talk to people. There are breeds that can give you a lot more offsprings in a year than other breeds.
Okay.
So if you talk to people, you know the right kind of feed you're giving them, they will work out fine. Goat, sheep, cattle. I like animal farming.
That crops,
Yeah. Crops, no. Maybe I have a ball too much. Yeah, I'm the type of person that no matter what I'm doing, I want to be there. I want to help. The people I work with in the porch, they'll tell you, I would like to help you. No matter what it is, I would like to help you. But with the crops, if you be 10 acres safe, we really work. The weather, this Ghana is too hot.
Okay.
It's way too hot.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. So animal farming mainly, so goats and sheep.
Yeah, goat, sheep, cows. Yeah. Okay. Then apart from poultry, I've been thinking pigs.
Okay.
Piggery, but I don't know. It's not something I'll just jump into.
You have to get more information.
Yeah, because it's also very capital intensive. And I feel like if I'll do piggery, then just like broilers, I would need to have someone that would assure me by contractual means that I want to already have a better. Yeah.
Okay. I get you.
I just feel like that's how I would like to work. Have someone who is ready. Even with my eggs, right? When they started laying, I had a lady that comes. She takes all of it. So I wasn't doing any marketing.
Oh, okay.
I started posting my poultry project not long ago, but it's been there for a while. When I started the business, I felt like, 350 beds there, so.
Yeah.
I was like, so, because you want to do more. Bro, when I go to Frankenstein and I'm buying medications or vaccines, and then one day me a mistake occurs, say, 350 per. I say, hey, 350. Some people can't even raise 100.
Yeah. That's the truth. The little numbers are struggling.
Yeah. It's just the little things. So this business, there's the little things, biosecurity, petty things, and you will just be devastated.
Sure.
Yeah.
So we'll dive more into that in the second video. I think we'll end the first part of the video here.
All right.
We'll take a look at the battery cage that he has also mostly focused on. If you have to start poultry farming using the battery cage system, what are you supposed to know about it? I've done more videos on deep later. I think this will be the first one on battery cage. So we get to learn more, get more information about it. Just at least for you to decide whether that's what you would want to maybe venture into.
Yeah.
When they start your own poultry farm. So yes, this will end out the video. Make sure you like this video for me. Like so you to promote and recommend the video to other people to get to watch and be inspired. Subscribe to the channel so we all grow together and share. The people out there when they all this information to start their own farm. As I said, level 200 students in poultry farming. I live with 350 beds and it's
I feel like I'm in school. Who can say?
Oh no, I mean,
Maybe now I'll find what I want to do with my life.
Because
when I completed school, my dad is a contractor. He works like government. I travel a lot. Seshi, every northern voter, he stays home and I do everything. If you give me a building construction plan, I can build it for you. I'll guide the masons and everything. Maybe the only thing I don't know in depth is electricals. And when it comes to the ground, so like the plan, everything, I'll do it. Did that for like 4 or 5 years before I finally decided to go.
Wow. Hey. Yeah,
I feel like running straight into university from senior high is the downfall of a lot of people.
Okay. Why do you say that?
A lot of people don't know exactly what they want to do. And their brain, 18, 19. When we are in SS, they are telling you who go university and you're open away. Freedom. The brain is not as mature. And we feel like when you finish school, you're going to get what you're going to do to get money.
Yeah.
The education system doesn't show us the real world. Until we get in a class, you feel like, oh, you have a degree or you have a master's. Yeah. You can have a master's in Ghana and no company still wants to take you because you have a master's with no work experience.
True.
Yeah, so it took a time for me to figure out exactly what I want to. I thought I wanted to do construction until one day we were at the site. I'm like, when I came, they had all left. I called them several. You see what Kofi Punchi said, "Oh, Bush are paying." Hey, working with illiterates is the most difficult thing ever. Hey. I realized, no, this job I'll die. Hey, I found poultry and I'm in love with poultry. I just love the model of the business. How the birds take care of each other. Oh, they'll buy their own. If you do good, they'll buy their own medications and everything to the point that that little production they are giving you will take care of them.
Yeah. Sure. But let me ask, so you finished Laboni when?
17.
2017, okay. Yeah. Then you stayed house for some time before.
I'll stay house. I try to go to school, but Charlie, the brain. I can't sit at one place. So even in the school I go now, to sit in a class for 3 hours.
No problem.
Yeah, I feel like there's things out there, and it's not very practical. I'm doing a business course. I wish universities in Ghana would make it more practical. Actually have students set up small businesses as soon as they enter the school. Okay. The accounting and things they learn, practice them and understand how it actually works. Yeah. Before you go complete.
Paper-based.
Exactly.
And theory.
You come out of school and you don't know anything. A lot of people. I remember sometimes we used to have a contract with Cocoa Board. My dad doesn't do right now, he's relaxing. And I went for what's it called? This tax withholding tax certificate, and I was going to GRA. Sometime near food truck. I started. Some boy said to my body, he see the thing. He say, "What be done?" I say withholding tax. He was in Accra Technical University, a level 400 student, and he didn't understand
what withholding tax certificate was.
So how do we come into the real world and make money?
True. I understand how you are coming from because normally most of the things we learn, they are theories. Our education system is not that like that.
And it's not like the things we learn are even bad. The things we learn can be practiced in the real world.
Yeah.
So they have to find a way because look,
once you are in school, you are getting the practicals.
The kid coming from SS, some people go to uni at 17 years.
Yeah.
Now he really doesn't know. You understand? So the education has to. I was telling someone if I should go take my social studies textbook from class 4, environmental problems. Frere will be all GHS11 say and how funny social studies textbook is the same problems.
Yeah.
I get it. Like, are you telling me the problems they change? Like,
yeah.
We have a problem, and the only way to change it is from the educational system. Because even if you get married, now juma into now do ba course crèche say daycare no into akra no should be bia ho enye fie everything be the school ba be ko school abani oba your school name everything he is learning, everything she's learning is the school. That be the environment they go every day. So if we don't work on our educational system, we know we will change this country.
Okay, so after 4 years you decided that okay, at this point let me just go to uni and
because
get a degree.
I'm going for my mom. Yeah.
Is that where my mom?
Yeah. Selasi,
she didn't worry you go to school.
I'm like, no.
Make you chase money and things.
On your sis Kanye shoe. Yeah. Sis Kanye all the year then, sis Kanye.
You don't make you get a degree give out.
Who the year degree? They know the employees again.
Charlie, look at the struggle to get employment. Now the true. All right. Charlie, Thanks. So yeah, we'll end the video here. We're going to look at the second part of the video to look at how to start your own poultry farm using the battery cage system. All right. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.